unexplainable heaviness in your chest, that strange chill when the room is perfectly warm, the exhaustion that lingers for days despite sleeping 8 full hours. But you're not sick. You're not injured. What if these are not just random glitches in your system? What if your body is screaming at you in a language you haven't yet learned to understand? Hi everyone, I am Janvi, and I've always been curious about why we think, feel and act the way we do. Last time we talked about what loneliness actually is and how it differs from solitude. But today we're going deeper, much deeper. Because this feeling of disconnection is not just living in your mind, it's actually invading your entire body, rewiring everything from your brain chemistry to your immune system. And the most terrifying part? You might not even realize it's happening. Stay with me for the next few minutes and I promise you will never look at these signals the same way ever again. Because by the end of this video, you'll be able to recognize when your body is craving for connection, even before your mind catches up. So how does loneliness manifest itself physically in our body? How do we know that this is emotional isolation that we are feeling and not something else? Let me ask you something odd. Have you ever felt cold in the room when nobody else does? It's not just in your head. Scientists have found something mind-blowing. During a simple game, when participants felt socially excluded, their finger temperatures literally dropped. But holding a warm cup of tea actually helped them feel better. Think about that for a second. Your body gets physically colder when it feels cut off from others. It's as if your body is trying to tell you something. Something important, perhaps. Which is why we need to keep listening. That heavy ache in your chest is not just in your imagination. Your brain processes social rejection in the exact same regions that process physical pain. Let me say that again. Your brain cannot tell the difference between the pain of isolation versus the pain of physical injury. A study tracking people over time discovered something alarming. The more socially disconnected participants experienced more physical pain, more depression, more fatigue, all compared to those who felt more connected to others. But that's not all. Your body starts responding to social disconnection before you even consciously realize that you're feeling cut off. It knows first. So what happens next? Your entire body chemistry changes. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and you realize that your entire body is in fight or flight response. Muscles tense, heart racing, all because you felt emotionally stranded yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. That is exactly what researchers found. Feeling lonely today? Your cortisol levels spike tomorrow morning. Even small moments of disconnection during your day can trigger this stress response. Of course, it gets worse if you're already dealing with relationship stress. So your body does not just respond to loneliness. It prepares for it, anticipates it, as if it knows something you don't. But wait, it gets more serious. Much more serious. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the American Heart Association found that feeling lonely is associated with a 30% increased risk of heart attack, stroke, or even death. The World Health Organization also declared loneliness as a global health threat in 2023. The US Surgeon General also stated something shocking. Loneliness is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So this feeling of emptiness that we usually casually feel and avoid to understand, well, it's not just uncomfortable, it's potentially fatal. But there's something even more shocking about how social isolation affects us mentally. Let's dig into that a little bit more. What happens when loneliness begins to take hold of you? Your mind begins to play tricks. Now, many of you may already know this, but feeling disconnected, feeling cut off from others, feeling lonely has frighteningly deep connections to mental health issues. There's very strong link between this disconnected state and the state of depression, while self-isolation is itself a sign of depressive episode. But you know when it gets truly unsettling? This feeling of disconnection is also connected to hallucinations and paranoid thoughts. And this relationship goes both ways, by the way. So feeling more and more isolated can lead to someone having psychotic symptoms, while experiencing these psychotic symptoms can itself make you feel cut off from others. It's almost like a vicious cycle that feeds itself. Also, since socializing is a skill that we build over time, chronic bouts of feeling lonely can lead to or even intensify social anxiety. So the less you connect, the harder it becomes to reach out to others. Another cruel cycle, I must say. And as a result of all of this, many usually turn to dangerous coping mechanisms like alcohol misuse, drug misuse, basically substance misuse. And this has become a common unhealthy tool to deal with these painful feelings, as social media also projects drinking alone or getting high is a solution to these painful feelings rather than a problem in itself. Now, it's not just in your imagination, and I totally get that. Your body and your mind are trying to seek relief from this painful feeling. But if you're someone who's experiencing this, I would like to tell you one thing. The relief is temporary, but the price is pretty high.
Now, does this stop in our mind, please?
Well, not exactly. Because being stuck in a lonely loop actually messes with your immune system. I think you saw that coming. Social disconnection increases the amount of cortisol flooding in your body, and that is terrible news for your immune system. This hormonal chaos leaves you vulnerable to a whole range of health problems: diabetes, sleep disorders, cancer risks, heart conditions, even obesity through emotional eating. And honestly, it can even predict dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Your brain really needs social connection to maintain its health. It's almost as if your body is screaming, connect or collapse. It's not being dramatic. It's actually being pretty accurate. Now I feel like,
Yeah, Janvi, I'll take care of myself. It'll be okay. Yada, yada, yada.
no, this is not just about you, sweetie. Understanding this is not just important for you. It's important for everyone else around you too. Because if you think that this casual feeling of loneliness is just something you feel, no, it's something you spread. A 10-year study found that this social disconnection is contagious. It slips into the lives of people around you. It affects friends more than family, and it weighs down more heavily on women than men. It's almost like an invisible virus. It passes from person to person, and no one notices it until it's everywhere. But I don't want this to be just my perspective. I want to hear yours. How does disconnection show up in your life? Do you think there are barriers stopping you from opening up? Let's talk about it in the comments. And I promise, the comment section is a safe space. So now we know how much finding the right balance between connection and solitude is essential for a healthy mind and body. And although the signs of loneliness show up differently for everyone, we have uncovered the ones that hide in plain sight. And if you've stuck around this video this long, I'm pretty sure you like what I've shared. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe the channel for more such content. So stay connected, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.